We're in a simulation. I'm convinced of it. Like, you couldn't have scripted this shit into a movie and made it sound believable. But yet, here we are. Lockdowns due to a freaking epidemic started by China. Everybody's trying to kill each other now because race relations are at an all-time death blow. And everybody's not listening. Or at least, most of the people that we look to for guidance are being fucking lunatics. And it's just, I'm not really happy with the state of everything. But I will tell you what, I will not let a corporation dictate my actions or my beliefs. I will not let rioters dictate my actions and beliefs, and I will most certainly not let asshole celebrities who are fucking hypocrites dictate my actions and beliefs. Because I'm not doing that shit. I have a set core guideline, and I always stick to them. Or at least I will try to stick to them the best way as I can. But this whole bullshit going on needs to stop, and it needs to stop now. People's lives are being ruined all around the country for multitudes of different reasons, and it's not always we don't always have the most cut and dry way of handling it. But Jesus Christ, you'd think in an age of political division we would try to be trying to come together, especially during this freaking lockdown business, but nope. Nope. Just stoke the racial divide because the LA riots were such a good idea, right? So, also, honestly, one of the funniest things about this whole situation is seeing all the people who are coming out now. You're saying Black Lives Matter. But now you're supporting that movement, even though you were quite a few of the people who I'm seeing supporting it were mocking it back in the day. Just saying. Seems pretty funny to me. And here's my thing. And I'm going to quote Wolf here. Everybody supports Black Lives Matter. It's just I don't support the movement. And now the movement isn't involved, I don't think, directly in what's going on with the riots. If they want to protest, let them protest. They have the right to do it, and they've actually been doing a pretty decent job compared to how things were going in, Ferguson and all that shit going on from 2014, 2016. But, Black Lives Matter, the movement, is not responsible, I don't think, for any of the shit going on. But there are people who are taking everything way too fucking far. Now, if you want my thoughts on the George Floyd situation, yes, that whole thing was bullshit. Why did they do that? Why did they just step on his fucking throat and just let him die like that? And there was 4 fucking cops who did it. Each one of them should be tried and shot. That's how fucking angry I was when I saw that. But this is also something that I've been thinking about. Is now people, like, for this case, you took you to this case to think, oh my god, our society is systematically racist. No. This is a problem that is systematic. We do not know, and there probably isn't any indication that this was done due to race. This was probably done because those cops were not properly fucking trained. And this is a big problem with a lot of the cases going on right now, is that police training is sucky. Not only that, in places where the crime rate is god-awful, this type of shit is going to happen eventually, and it happens quite a bit. So, the actual solution here's the actual solution. Fix police training. Make them more accountable for their actions. Get rid of fucking unions. Yes, unironically get rid of all types of unions, but especially police unions. Because police unions they're not doing anything to help. They're not doing anything to fix this type of shit. Because all they want is the bottom line. They just want that sweet moolah. Right? This is the big problem with unions in general. That if something is threatening their bottom line, doesn't matter if the change people want is something that's easy to obtain, they'll fucking flip out on it. This happens all the time. That's a big thing with unions is they have leverage. And I also saw people were like, hey, we should just get private police forces. Yes, because private police forces, as much as people love being anti-capitalist and stuff, private private systems normally are do more for ingenuity in anything than anything that's run by the government or run by unions. So I think we kind of need to do something about that. But I'm sitting here and I'm looking at all these freaking riots going on. Now the protests, I'm not talking about the protests, okay? Before anybody comes after me for saying, "Oh, I'm going after the protesters." No, I'm not. I'm not going after the protesters. The protesters are doing what they need to do. That's what they want to do. I'm not going to go after them for that. In fact, I support them if they're protesting George Floyd's death. What I do have a problem with is these fucking rioters and looters. And the people defending these rioters and looters so much that people are trying to play their bail. Unironically. Because they think that fucking tearing down businesses is doing something to help the racial divide. This does nothing. The only thing this is going to do is actually make police more violent in the future when it comes to this shit. And yes, there's been a lot of bad shit that I've seen police forces do during this whole situation, but that's not the whole story. There's a lot of cops who are actually trying to help people. There's a lot of EMTs and ambulances and firefighters trying to help people, and they're getting fucked over by these rioters, and they're getting fucked over by all the people trying to propel this narrative that all the police forces they're all the bad men. It's like, no. Once again, it's not all cops, not all black people, not all that type of shit. Alright, I'm tired of that crap. What I'm trying to get to is that there is an easy solution to this that won't get fixed because no one wants to sit down and actually think about it. At least, not no one in power or no one with the big amount of influence. And I've also been seeing a lot of people going around saying, if you're not with me, you're the enemy. Like Idris Elba, the guy famously said that we're killing the earth and we should be killed because we're a virus type of deal. Yeah, shut the fuck up. And I've seen a lot of people who I either have interacted with before or am friendly with, they're posting these stuff, and it's like, look, protest for George Floyd. Do that. What I don't need you protesting for is a movement, not a movement, but what you don't need is fostering the divide any further. Because that's what you're doing when you're telling people who do not like the Black Lives Matter hashtag, whether they're black, white, Asian, Mexican, Indian, any type of demographic, doesn't matter. That's fostering a divide. When you're trying to shut down the discussion just because you don't happen to agree with a particular hashtag, but when people around you don't happen to agree with the particular hashtag, that's kind of cowardly. That does nothing to help the discussion. That does nothing. Alright? And I also love how people think that posting a fucking black picture, a blank black picture, I posted a bunch of blank black pictures before. They were just nothing. That's all it is. It's a nothing post. If you want to do something, donate to causes. Donate to actual things trying to do some change. Not the ACB, because fuck that. But ACAB, whatever that is. Because fuck that. I've been hearing some bad shit coming out of that. But seriously, there is an easy solution here. Just fix police training. Just fix police training and have better guidelines in place. Make police more accountable for their actions if they're doing shitty shit. Though still, you're still going to have a lot of corruption in there, but this would do something to help. But seriously, I'm tired of people going at each other's throats. Okay? I have not, during this entire thing, put Black Lives Matter or posted anything related to Black Lives Matter in anything. It's not because, I hate black people. I love everybody equally. Or at least the people that I know. But I do not discriminate. If I don't like you, I'm going to make sure you know. If there's a white guy being an asshole, if there's a black person being an asshole, there's an Indian or a Mexican or Canadian. If anybody's being an asshole, I'll go at them the same way. Okay? And if I know you, I will treat you the same as if I would any other person. Okay? Everybody deserves that dignity and the respect. I do not like people going around acting like it's all the white people's fault. And I don't like people going around saying it's all the black people's fault either. But there is a significant chunk of people going around saying that this is all white people's fault. That's not the case. One of the people who was actually in the case in question was Asian. And guess what? You know that narrative that Asians are the new white people? They're trying that shit. They're trying it. Because you know that crap with Harvard and they're trying to take down trying to devalue their scores to let minorities get in, even though Asians are a minority. But that's because the Asians always get higher scores in their grades. Yeah, that's what they're doing again. They're going to go after Asians now. So we're going to have Roof Koreans Part 2. Fucking wonderful. Okay? It's it's really funny how the tables have just been just ripped in half. Right? And I think most people are going at this entire issue completely the wrong way. Okay? Like, there are people who I follow, or at least I've watched, who are linking stuff like, hey, go donate to the ACLU. I'm like, no, I will never support the ACLU. Fuck them. And then the NAACP's, they're a shell of what they were. I don't ever see them doing anything. Not to say that they don't do things. I'm sure their local branches do stuff, but as firms at like the national branch, they suck. Alright, and they were freaking supporting stuff like the Southern Poverty Law Center, that fucking fake shit. But, I'm kind of rambling here, but I'm irritated. I'm greatly irritated. I'm disappointed. Nobody in politics is handling this right either, I don't think. Granted, you got some people who are outliers saying, hey, don't be fucking rioting, but sure, protest this dude's death. But there are people that just outright, when every situation is outright fucking lying about everything, and I'm sick of it. That does nothing to help anyone. Just going out there lying just to get one up on your political opponents. Elizabeth Warren said that Donald Trump was going to kill a bunch of black people. Or she said she was going to kill a bunch of people, or something like that, if they were protesting. Are you fucking kidding me, mate? And there's a bunch of people just going around like, oh, the cops did nothing wrong. Yes, there's idiots unironically going that those cops did nothing wrong. Those cops absolutely did nothing wrong. They sat on that dude's neck for minutes at a time and just let him die. There's just a whole lot of misinformation and misleading about this entire thing. But the thing that's really been ticking me off is how they have been covering the riots. A week ago, they were all going out there saying that if you were on the beaches, you were going to kill your grandmother because of COVID. And we were all rightfully laughing at them for that. But then now they're like, oh, you're seeing all these people not social distancing, ripping apart people's businesses. And yet, oh, that's fine? Because what? No, riots are never an answer. They should never be an answer for anything. Unless, like, literally the government is going around there mowing down people in the streets, which they aren't doing. Yes, there's some cops doing some stupid shit, but once again, not all the cops out there trying to defend places are being assholes. Right? And this is also a big thing. All the media, at least the mainstream media, is covering this like the riots is like the best thing ever, which is really fucking disgusting. And they're ignoring all the minority business owners who are being affected by this. Minorities have lost their businesses, lost their homes in the case of some of that stuff because, there was a project that got burned down. And, there are minorities who are protesting who have lost their lives to rioters. There are those who are minorities who are defending businesses who have died. Like the police chief, that was that former police chief, I don't remember his name, but he got shot in the head trying to steal people. Trying to keep people from stealing. And all they wanted was a fucking flat screen TV. And it's like, are you fucking shitting me right now? These people are outright killing people because they want to do whatever they want instead of actually protesting for change. And they kill a former police chief in the process. A black police chief, by the way. And you're gonna say fucking nothing on it. Or you'll do a 2-second clip of you talking about something in relation to him. And then you'll just go on and on and on about something else. That's disgusting. Okay? If you're going to donate any money to anyone, you donate it directly to people you know. If you live in these areas, donate it directly to people you know who have been affected by the situation. Don't donate it to fucking corporations or these non-profits. Donate it to people you know, or donate it to people you see being directly affected by these fucking riots. You help them get their businesses back up. You help them get their homes back. You help them fix their lives. That's what you should be doing. All right. Like I said, I see all these people linking to these businesses. Well, not businesses, but these campaigns. And it's like, most of these are bullshit. Donate to actual people. You can do that. Or hell, start your own thing. Do a GoFundMe and say, we'll send all this money. If you donate enough, we'll send all this money to the people who are directly affected by it. That's honestly what we should be doing. I'm not going to be sending money to corporations who are going to try to influence education for the next 20 years because of this shit. Who will influence with their own spin on it instead of doing it in an unbiased and objective standard. Because it's not going to work. Because the wrong narrative is being propelled here. The actual narrative we should be doing is police have not been trained properly in certain areas, and it's getting worse, and it's spreading farther and farther away, and we need to fix it, and we need to fix it before things get too bad. But instead, the narrative is, oh, white people bad, and that's why everybody's dying, who happens to be a minority. No. Alright, I'm trying to be reasonable on this entire situation. This is the reasonable thing that I'm accounting for. This is what we should be doing. But rioting, right, and protesting, you are completely fine doing that. I 100% applaud you if you do that. But don't go out there saying the white people are the fucking problem. You go out there and saying that there is a problem with the police force in these areas and we need to protest them. Protest the actual cops who did this. And guess what? They're being charged for murder now. You have no fucking reason to protest anymore. They're gonna get arrested. Well, they are already arrested and they're getting charged for murder, and most likely they're gonna get the death penalty or life in prison. You don't have to protest anymore. Just go home and take care of your families, please. Alright, I'm of the opinion that protests should only be done in spurts. You do it for the first few days and then you stop. Okay, because this shit takes time. Especially during this whole coronavirus stuff. That type of stuff, the investigations, that shit takes time. Doesn't matter how cut and dry it is. You have to make sure everything is right. Because there could be something else. And it will definitely fuck up cases. There are cases before where someone's been wrongfully killed and the guys got off because there was some bullshit. Okay? Like, just because they aren't being arrested and tried for murder at first doesn't mean that you should be doing it. Doesn't mean you should be marching every day. Right? It just doesn't work in that sense. Now you got attention on an issue, good. But once again, it should only be done in like a spurt or two. But riots definitely aren't fucking called for. And I've seen a lot of opportunists, people going out there, this white people, like everybody. I've seen everybody going out there. Doesn't matter what race or gender they are, they're fucking going out there rioting with the rioters and looting. Like fucking Jake Paul said that he was in the riots to try to see what was going on, to document it. It's like, fucking came out that he was the one actually fucking looting people, and he had the camera crew there as a stunt. What a fucking bitch. And then I'm seeing John Boyega. This dude, contrary to what some people may say, I've never completely liked John Boyega. I've liked him as an actor, but as a person, especially when it comes to stuff like Star Wars, I've always been rather mixed on him. Because with Rise of Skywalker, he was saying some good shit about it, but with The Last Jedi, he was also saying a lot of stupid shit. But he's out here saying that white on black racism. He's only talking about white on black racism when he says I fucking hate racists, and it's like, what? Shouldn't we be hating all racists? And he went after a freaking black guy who's from Africa, by the way. He said he dated a African woman who said she hated white people, and he said, fuck that bitch. And then John Boyega is like, no, fuck her. No, fuck you for fucking her. And I'm like, what? And then John Boyega's out there with the protests. He said, I don't care if I lose my career after this, because fuck that. It's like, you got tons of money. Don't flaunt around that you won't have a career, because people will definitely be casting you in things soon. Just they're not going to care. Hollywood agrees with you. But you're coming out here flaunting around that, oh, I might not have a career after this. Like, bitch, you have millions of fucking dollars. You have millions of net worth. Do not flaunt that around at me, you ass. That's so fucking pitiful. And like I said, the celebrity's been fucking retarded on this. You're gonna pay bail for fucking the rioters. Not the protesters, not just the protesters, the rioters, the people who were looting, the people who were tearing down businesses, because what? Are you retarded? I'm sick of people, man. Alright, we had some cool shit go down the last week. Like, we had the fucking SpaceX launch. Our first time we've sent people into space up in a while, man. From US soil. And it's fucking awesome. And yet, all that is being pushed away because of all this crap. Now, like I said, protest in honor of George Floyd. Bring justice to him. And guess what? He's getting justice. The people who were, who killed him or let him die, they're getting tried for murder in the first degree, which means they're getting life or death. I prefer death for all of them, but we'll see what happens. But that's the justice that we're going to get. And you know how you can keep this shit from happening in the future? Introduce legislation to stop police unions. Also, allow your citizens to have guns in fucking liberal areas, you fucking retards. Because one of the funny things I have been seeing is how many people are buying guns now. This is going against every fucking narrative that the left has ever had on guns. And you think this would have been a thing too after the LA riots? But then 2 years after the LA riots, they introduced the fucking Gun Control Act of 1994, the Brady Act, the most ineffective gun control legislation ever. But you know what happened during the LA riots? A lot of people lost their shit. And you want to know why the roof Koreans are a meme? Because they were pretty fucking amazing. They defended their businesses, standing up on rooftops and on the ground, defending their businesses from the rioters because Koreatown got fucked up. They got fucked up. And guess what? They defended their homes and their businesses. So, for having the same thing happen here, it's a lot more widespread. You have suburban communities doing it. You have ghetto people who live in the quote unquote ghetto doing it. You have white people, black people, Asians, everybody's doing it. It's a lot more widespread now, and gun buying rates was already freaking expanded due to coronavirus anyway, because people were being idiot. Not because people being idiots buying guns, but because there were people being idiots around them because they wanted guns. Because hey, the cops can't come. Well, if somebody tries to rob our house, they won't arrest them. So honestly, this entire situation here with the riots just shows how much we need guns in society now more than ever. Oh, I don't need 30 rounds to hunt a deer. Well, guess what? I need 30 rounds to shoot a bunch of dumbasses trying to steal my shit or destroy my home or my place of business. I don't give a fuck. You try to blow up, you try to disregard my life, your life's disregarded too. That's self-fucking defense. And I love how the media is gonna, when they see more and more of these cases, the harder it will be for them to spin the narrative that, oh, these gun owners are killing all these black people. Doobie doobie doo. No. No. This is a collective. Not just white people are doing this. Black people are going around with guns, defending their livelihoods and their businesses. Just spinning the narrative ain't gonna work anymore. I think the American people have been convinced on guns. So, fuck off. And fuck off to all the people who are, once again, acting like now was the time to say Black Lives Matter. You had your fucking opportunities 4 fucking years ago. No, 6 years ago. You had your opportunities. I don't believe you genuinely if you're going around there saying Black Lives Matter now when you didn't the last time it was big. Alright. Protest for the injustice that was dealt to people because of police brutality. Do that. But acting like this is a black and white issue when there's clearly a lot more going on here is doing nothing to help anybody. So, here's my message to all of you guys. To all the people who are handling the situation with, respect. Be safe. Don't do anything stupid. Stay out of harm's way. Make sure that you're doing everything you can to keep yourselves in decent health. And please don't get in arguments with stupid people over this crap. Because there are people who are unironically going that all the white people should die or all the cops should die no matter what race or creed. It's insane out there. People are just letting their idiocy go unchecked. And it needs to stop. So stay safe out there. I hope you guys have a good day.